Hi, we're going to be working on immunity boost and stress relief yoga today. Let's start with our breath. Lift the top of the head toward the ceiling, roll the shoulders back and down. Try to align the head and shoulders right over the hips. Imagine that your elbows are weighted. We're going to turn the chin down slightly so you can feel a stretch up through the back of the neck and right into the back of the skull. If you're comfortable with it, close your eyes for a few moments. I'll let you know when it's time to open them back up. Breathe deeply. Let your belly expand with the inhalation and let that expansion move all the way to the top of your chest. Take your time. There's nothing else to do right now but breathe. When you feel ready, open your eyes. And with our next inhalation, we're just going to turn the chin up to the ceiling. And then exhale and bring the chin to the chest. Inhale, ceiling. Exhale, chest. Inhale, ceiling. And exhale, chest. Beautiful. Let's inhale and lift the head up. And then we're going to exhale and just rotate the chin over our shoulder. Inhale, center. Exhale, rotate. Inhale, center. Again. Exhale with the rotation. Inhale, back to center. Exhale with the rotation. Inhale, back to center. Let's do one more set. Beautiful. We're going to do a side lean now, just with the head. So inhale and let the top of the head move up toward the ceiling, and then exhale and just bring the ear to the shoulder, making sure that we're releasing through the opposite shoulder. You'll feel a nice stretch through the neck here. Inhale, head up, and then exhale, ear to shoulder. Inhale, head up, exhale, shoulder. Inhale, head up, and exhale, shoulder. Again. And inhale, head up. So we did all of those warm-up exercises working with the neck and into the shoulders. Let's go ahead and add our entire spine with that. So holding on to our knees with our hands here, let's inhale and lift the chin and the chest up toward the ceiling. And then with the exhalation, let your back round, tuck the chin. Beautiful. Inhale, chin and chest comes up toward the ceiling. Exhale, back rounds. Inhale, lift. And exhale, round. Let's do that one more time. Inhale, lift. And exhale, round. We'll inhale and bring the top of our head toward the ceiling and just lift the arms up so they're out of the way. With the exhalation, go ahead and rotate in one direction. Inhale brings you back to center. Exhale, rotating in the other direction. And inhale, back to center. Again, exhale and inhale. Exhale and inhale. Beautiful. From here, we're just going to rest our hands on the floor, shoulders back and down. So we want to keep that great posture, the lifted chest. We'll leave one hand on the floor here, and we're going to reach up and over with the other hand. So inhale, reach up. Exhale, come over. And then inhale, just reach right back up. Exhale, move to the side. Inhale, up. Exhale, move to the side. Beautiful. Inhale up, and we're going to exhale and let that arm float down. Inhale, reaching the opposite arm up. Exhale, move to the side. Beautiful. Inhale, nice, big, deep, grand breaths. Let's do one more right here. Inhale up and exhale, let that arm float down. We're going to roll the shoulders back and down, and we're going to bring the hands together. Push the hands together here and pull the heels of the hands downward so that you can get a nice wrist stretch here. Keep the top of the head up toward the ceiling, so don't lean forward with this, but come on up. Shoulders back and down. Beautiful. We're going to work a little deeper on wrist stretch. I caution you, if you are on carpet and it's a really cushiony surface, go easy on those wrists. So let's come forward here, and we're going to come onto all fours. And then we're going to turn our hands wide and then back. So we're pointing the fingertips toward our knees here. Want to make sure that the elbows stay soft. So pushing the shoulders away from the ears and keeping a softness to the elbows. Doing a nice wrist stretch here. If you can go a little deeper in the wrist stretch, just go ahead and lower your seat down toward your feet and move back here. Again, we want to make sure that those elbows stay soft. Take a couple deep breaths here. Excellent. We're going to turn the hands around. We're going to splay the fingertips wide, so not a closed hand, but a nice open hand. I'm going to turn sideways so you can see what I'm doing. The heels of the hands right under the shoulders and the knees right under the hips. Make sure the elbows stay soft. We're going to inhale, and we're going to let the belly drop, lifting the tail and the head, coming into our cow pose. And then we're just going to exhale and stretch here into our cat stretch. Inhale, cow, dropping the belly. Exhale, lift the back, cat stretch. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. And exhale, cat. Let's come to a flatter back here. And then we're going to tuck our toes under and lift our hips up. We'll walk our feet forward toward the hands. Take a moment here in standing forward bend. If you feel like this is too much pressure on your the back of your legs or too much stretch, then go ahead and walk your hands up toward your shins and push yourself away from this a little bit. We want to stay in pain-free range of motion. So obviously we're here to do something. We want to feel a stretch in those limbs, but definitely not pain. And that is your responsibility. You take care of yourself. Beautiful. So we're going to walk our hands up toward our shins, push ourselves up, walk our hands again up toward the thighs here. And we're going to push ourselves all the way up, rolling the shoulders back and down. Beautiful. So now we're just going to do a little bit more movement here, a little bigger movement. So we're going to stand in mountain pose, toes facing directly forward, chest lifted, shoulders back and down. We'll let the hands hang next to the body here. Let's inhale, and we'll reach the arms up and back. So we're leaning back with this a little bit, lifting the top of the head up away from the hips, making sure the balance is even on all four corners of our feet, relaxing the shoulders away from the ears. Beautiful. We're going to exhale, and we're going to swan dive with this, bringing the hands down toward the floor and coming to our standing forward bend. Again, if this is too much of a stretch for you, just walk your hands up to your shins and push yourself away from the pose just a little bit. Beautiful. So with the hands on the shins or on the floor, inhale and lift your head and your tail up toward the ceiling. Shoulders away from the ears here, really digging into those hamstrings, the back of the thighs. Let's exhale, and we'll let our heads drop down. And the next inhalation, we'll sweep the arms up and back. And then exhale and let the hands come through the front of the body and down toward the side. So let's try to flow with that. Inhale, reach up and back. Exhale, fold, hands on the floor or on your shins. Inhale, lift tail and head. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep the arms up and back. Exhale, hands together. Draw the hands down the front of the body and to the sides. Inhale, reach. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift tail and head. Exhale, fold. Beautiful. Inhale, arms up and back. Exhale to mountain. Beautiful. Let's do that one more time. Reach, fold, lift tail and head, fold, reach up and back, and mountain. Beautiful. So we're going to start our standing poses with eagle pose. And eagle pose is a confusing pose for the body because it brings the left side to the right side and the right side to the left side. And that's always confusing for the body to try to remain upright. If you need to move to a wall here so that you can touch the wall for balance, please do so. Especially if you're working on carpet with pad, again, really squishy surface, so it's harder to balance. And I'll give you some clues for that. So we're going to start facing forward here, and we're going to soften our knees, bringing our seat behind us. The knees are going to come over the toes just a little bit, but we do not want them to come past the toes. And as we sit into this, we're not leaning forward, we're keeping the chest lifted and trying to keep the head and shoulders centered over the body. We'll shift the weight to one side. So I'm shifting to my left leg, but you can shift to right if you want, whatever you want to start with. And we're crossing over here. We want the cross of the legs to be above the knees. If balance is an issue here, you can always slide that toe down and let it touch the floor or touch your mat so that you can have a little kickstand working with the balance. If it works for you up here, that's great too. And if you can keep that toe tucked behind the calf, go ahead and do that. So I am standing on my left leg. So I'm going to bring my left arm up first, and then I'm going to bring my right arm under. I'm going to twist the arms together and lift the elbows to shoulder height. Let's just hold this for a couple of deep breaths. One more deep breath. Beautiful. And then let's release the pose, and we're just going to work with the other side right away. So again, nice and tall here. Slide down a little bit, knees right over the toes, and then we'll cross the other leg over. And again, you can use that kickstand if you need to, or let the foot be up in the air, or if you can tuck it behind your calf, go ahead and do that. Hips are down here. I am standing on my right leg, so I'm going to bring the right arm up, left arm under, twisting the arms together and lifting the elbows to shoulder height. Breathe. Let's release the arms, roll the shoulders back and down and uncross the legs. Come on to the one end of your mat, one edge of your mat. Again, toes are facing straight forward, shoulders back and down. We'll take a big step back with one foot. So now we're in 5-point star right here. Arms are level, legs extended, and we've got our hips pointing toward the long end of the mat. Want to make sure that that front leg knee stays on top of the leg. Sometimes as we rotate the hips in this direction, the knee starts to twist forward. So want to make sure that that knee stays up. So front foot facing toward the short end of the mat, back foot facing directly toward the long end of the mat. We'll inhale with the arms up here and we'll turn the thumbs up. I'm going to ask you to reach, 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 reach toward the front here. And then we're going to bring the shoulders stacked one on top of the other. Standing nice and tall here, keeping space through the torso. If you can, turn your gaze toward the ceiling. You can rest your hand on your shin here. Just make sure that you're not letting the weight of your body push your knee into a locked position here. So make sure that knee stays soft. Tighten up the thigh to support that soft knee. Breathe. Let's inhale and we're going to bring ourselves upright and we're just going to go for the triangle right on the other side. So go ahead and close that front foot and open the back foot. Again, working on getting the hips parallel with the long end of the mat. The arms are wide. This knee is on top of the leg. Turn the thumbs up. Reach over that pointed out foot and then go ahead and stack the shoulders. Turn the gaze up toward the ceiling if you can, and breathe deeply. Triangle is a pose of extension, so everything should feel long and extended here. Beautiful. Let's inhale and we'll bring ourselves upright. Let the arms float down and step the legs together. I'm going to turn sideways so you can see what I'm doing here, but you can face the screen if you want to. Feet are going to be parallel with each other, pointed directly forward, shoulders back and down. We're going to come into a camel pose, which is a backward bending pose. And we might need some support here. So you can either do heels of the hands into the low back, fists into the low back, or if it's more comfortable for you, hold on to your elbows here and then your forearms will help support you in this pose. When you're working here with camel, you want to bring the shoulder blades together behind you. So a nice physically open chest here. And the yogis believe that a physically open chest makes you more cheerful. So we can use that, can't we? Bring those elbows toward each other, the shoulder blades toward each other. Lift up tall through the top of the head. Do not lock your knees. Keep your knees soft, your thighs tightened up against those thigh bones. And then we're just going to follow the curve of the low spine in through the middle spine, the upper spine, and right through the back of the neck. Squeeze the elbows together. Breathe deeply. Inhale and bring the top of your head toward the ceiling. And I always ask you to listen to your body. Sometimes after one of those really nice back bends, your body wants a forward bend. So let's go ahead and give our bodies that. We'll bring the chin to the chest, round out through the upper back, and then go ahead and reach toward the floor. letting the head hang here. Keep the knees soft. Move the hips over the feet. Relax head, neck, and shoulders. If you'd like, you can tuck your hands into your elbows. Take several deep breaths here. Feel the hamstrings lengthening, the spine lengthening. Beautiful. We're going to come to downward dog next. So I'm going to have you step your hands out a little bit and your feet out a little bit. Reach the heels into the floor, pushing your seat away from your hands, and let your head come down. Fingertips blade wide here, ladies and gentlemen, and let that pelvis tip forward. Lift your sit bones and your tailbone up toward the ceiling. Let your head hang. Breathe deeply. Excellent. Let's come up onto our toes. We're going to drop the knees down. We'll point the toes. We're going to back the seat up so we're sitting toward our heels here, and just drop the head toward the floor. Let the arms be outstretched here, and we're going to walk the fingers away from us and relax the shoulders away from the ears. Beautiful. From here, we're going to move into our cobra. So we're going to bring ourselves up to all fours, lower ourselves down on the mat, and then we're going to bring the elbows right under the shoulders. We're going to point the toes here, and don't let the legs be soft here. Tighten up the thighs a little bit and activate those legs. We don't want to come into a locked knee position, but the legs active enough to keep the knees up off the floor. And then roll the shoulders away from the ears. Top of the head reaching up toward the ceiling. So after you've turned sideways and seen the pose, then go ahead and look forward. Work on lifting the top of the head toward the ceiling, breathing deeply in our cobra. It's a baby cobra. Let's move our hands back next to our chest. We're going to push ourselves up onto all fours, and then we'll bring the legs around front so that we can have a seat. Legs are crossed here, shoulders are back and down. We're going to, again, align our heads and shoulders right over our hips. Keep the chest lifted and the shoulders down here. Let's just take our hand on one side and move it to the mat here. We'll take the opposite hand and bring it to the knee, and then we're going to think about We're turning our hearts. So we're going to rotate the shoulders and turn the heart to the side. The hand is here not necessarily to pull yourself deeper, but to just give you some support. And then take the other hand and reach it behind you, turning your head to also look behind you. Make sure here that you've got best posture, lifting top of the head up toward the ceiling, right over the center of the pelvis. Relax your shoulders away from your ears. You might notice as you take a breath in, it takes up some space. The rib cage expands. It takes up some of the space that you have to rotate. So with each inhalation, you might lose a little bit of the rotation, but with each exhalation, move back into the rotation as deeply as you can, again, staying in pain-free range of motion. So just ask your body constantly, is this okay? Let's do 2 more deep breaths. Inhale to center, shoulders back and down. Let's cross our legs in the opposite direction. Keeping the head lifted, and again, the shoulders back and down. We'll bring the hands to the side, moving in the opposite direction again. Bring that hand to the opposite knee, and then turn your heart to the side, and then bring the hand down. Relax shoulders, lift head, breathe. Beautiful. Let's inhale to center, roll the shoulders back and down. We're going to come to a reclined position next. So go ahead and bring yourself to the center of your mat, round out your back, hands next to you, and we're going to go ahead and roll ourselves down onto the mat. Let your left leg stay extended on the mat and invite your right leg up toward your chest. We're going to bring the hands right below the knee here and squeeze the knee in toward the chest. Work on staying balanced here. Both shoulders relaxed into the floor, both hips relaxed into the floor. If this is working for you and you want to intensify, slide your right hand down toward your ankle and squeeze the whole shin bone into the body. Breathe deeply. Because we're squeezing this leg into the body, we might be pushing a little bit into the rib cage here on the right side. So go ahead and let your left side expand grandly with the breath. Let's release the leg. We'll put the foot on the floor, and then we'll extend it the whole leg onto the floor. And then let's invite the left leg up. Again, hands right below the knee. We'll squeeze the knee into the chest, taking some deep breaths here. If you'd like to work a little bit more, slide your left hand down toward your shin and pull the whole shin into the body. Breathe. Beautiful. Let's go ahead and just let this knee ease away from us. We're going to gather the other knee up toward the chest. And we're going to bring the arms wide to the side with the palms down, leaving both shoulders on the floor. We'll rotate both knees to the right. And then let the tension out of your legs. So don't let your feet hang up here. Just go ahead and put them down, relaxing the legs in this reclined revolved abdomen pose. From here, just letting the weight of the leg rotate you is a nice stretch for the core and for the abdomen. If this is too stressful for you, then you can grab a pillow, or if you happen to have a yoga block, and put the pillow between your knees here, or you can even put the pillow or the yoga block underneath the bottom leg. So my knees are to the right. I'm going to gently turn my head all the way to the left and just let my body weight stretch me here, relaxing into the floor, breathing deeply. We're going to move to the other side. So turn your gaze up toward the ceiling, and then take your top knee up toward the ceiling, followed by the bottom knee. If you'd like, you can squeeze your knees into your chest and give yourself a couple rocks back and forth. Loosen any tension in the low back. And then when you feel ready, go ahead and extend the arms out wide here again and rotate the knees to the left. We're working on keeping that right shoulder or that opposite shoulder on the floor here. And again, just use your body weight, relax the legs to the floor, add a pillow if you need it. Rotate your head away from your legs. Close your eyes if you'd like. Breathe deeply here. Beautiful. Let's bring that top knee up toward the ceiling, followed by the bottom knee. And again, if you want to hold your knees and rock the hips back and forth, releasing any tension in the low back, go ahead and do that. Let's bring that left foot onto the floor, and we're going to bring the right foot up toward the ceiling. You can point the toe here if you want to, or you can flex. We're going to bring the hands behind the leg. We're going to just slide those hands behind the leg and down. Go to wherever you are comfortable with this. Now from here, instead of relaxing the foot or even pointing the foot, let's do a hard point of the toe down toward the face, pushing through the heel here and incorporating the calf into the stretch. We are moving here toward hand to big toe pose. So I've got my right leg up. I can take the first two fingers of my right hand and bring them around my big toe here. Notice that my right shoulder is still on the floor. Holding this position if that works for you. If you can't keep your right shoulder on the floor, then go ahead and just hold the leg here behind the calf or even behind the thigh, working towards straight leg here. If you'd like to intensify with this pose, you can take this bent leg, the left leg, that's a foot on the floor, and you can reach that leg away from you, flexing the foot and pushing through the heel. Take a couple deep breaths here. Beautiful. If your left leg is extended, go ahead and bend the leg, putting the knee up toward the ceiling. And we'll take that right leg and just bring the ankle to the knee, letting the knee fall wide. For some people, if the hips are tight, this is a pretty good stretch right here, just working on dropping the knee away from you. If you want to intensify this, just lift this whole thing up and bring it toward the body. You can let your hands hang to the side here, or if you want to intensify further, the right hand comes between the legs, the left hand comes behind, and you can either wrap your fingers around the back of your thigh, or for even more intensity, wrap those hands around your shin. You want to make sure that the shoulders are not rolling forward here, but pushed back and down, relaxing those shoulders into the floor. Let's do a couple more deep breaths here. Let's release here. We'll just switch sides. So go ahead and uncross. Put your right foot on the floor. Extend your left leg up toward the ceiling. Hands behind the leg. Just slide those hands down. Again, we're looking for a straight leg here through the knees. And then if you would like to intensify, go ahead and point that toe toward your face. Use the first two fingers of your left hand to hold on to that toe if that works for you. Again, if that's making your knee bend, don't worry about holding on to the toe. Just go ahead and hold on to the back of the leg. Relax the shoulders into the floor. And if you want to intensify, take this right leg and extend it onto the floor, pushing through the heel. Breathe. Let's bring that right leg in. So bending the knee, putting the foot to the floor. We'll take the left leg, bring ankle to knee here. And again, you can just relax the arms onto the floor and lift the legs up here. If you're feeling enough work right here, then just work on letting that knee drop away from you. If you need more intensity, go ahead and bring the leg up. You can hold on here behind the thigh or on top of the shin. Again, I'm reaching for my shin and my shoulders rolled up. I don't want to stay here unless I can bring those shoulders back down. Breathe deeply. Let's release that leg to the floor and uncross the legs. Beautiful. We're going to go ahead into our relaxation now. So extend the legs out, let your toes fall wide, turn the palms of your hands upward so that they face toward the ceiling, and then soften your hands here. So let your fingers curl gently. Sometimes when we set ourselves in this position, if the arms were reaching forward, the shoulder blades are set wide. So sometimes we need to lift up the upper back and roll the shoulders back and down so that we can find a place for our back to be comfortable here. Turn your gaze up toward the ceiling and just relax here. Close your eyes if that works for you. Let go of any tension in your toes, in the balls of your feet. Relax your arches and your heels. Breathe slowly and deeply, moving the relaxation through the ankles and up into the shins and the calves. Feel the relaxation creeping up toward the knees. Relax the muscles around the knees. Let your thighs soften. Top of the thighs melting into the inner and outer thighs. And the inner and outer thighs in turn melting into the back of the thighs. The entire width and breadth of the thighs softening into the floor. Inhale and draw that relaxation into your pelvis. Feeling the relaxation moving into the belly, into your seat, up into the low back. Let the relaxation move up through the low back into the middle back and the upper back. Bring the relaxation from the belly up through the rib cage to the chest and into the shoulders. Relax your upper arms and feel the relaxation moving toward the elbows. Soften your elbows. Relax your forearms. Soften into the wrists and the hands. Relax your fingers. With your next inhalation, draw the relaxation from the tips of your fingers and toes, through your arms and your legs, up through your spine, and all the way into your head. Soften your head. Relax your face. Let your mouth hang slightly open, resting the tip of your tongue on the roof of your mouth. Allow the muscles in the back of your throat to soften. Move away from controlling your breath. Just watch your body breathe. With each exhalation, release tension and toxins. Release your stresses and your worries. Let go, let go, let go. Today's meditation from this book, Yoga 365, is called Cultivate Inner Strength to Access Your Inner Courage. To thrive, we need courage. It takes courage to listen to our inner voice, urging us to look at something challenging within ourselves, no matter how difficult it may be. At other times, we need courage to look at one of life's tough realities that we need to accept inwardly. To access this courage, we need the inner strength that we cultivate through meditation and yoga. These practices develop and strengthen us from the inside, so we have the courage to address our personal challenges within and without. Oh, that's pretty timely. Let's take a few more minutes to relax into the floor, letting those tensions and toxins dissolve away. Excellent work, everybody. Begin to wiggle your fingers and toes, bringing blood flow to the extremities and bringing yourself to a more conscious state. When you feel ready, go ahead and gather your knees up toward your chest and roll to your right side. Lay on your right side for as long as you wish. And then again, whenever you feel ready, push yourself up to a seated position. Please take this moment in gratitude for your body, for its ability and willingness to work with you today. Thank yourself. I thank you for spending some of your time with me today. Namaste.